Hold on 1 minute. My camera has not come on yet. What's going on with that? 1 second here. Right. Okay, can y'all hear me now? All right, okay, so we got that. Let's see if my camera is going to work now. Okay, so the camera still doesn't want to work. That's okay. We're going to move on. We've got the audio. We're all good. All right. One more thumbs up. Everybody can hear me okay? Yes, yes. Okay, so we're going to get going. So this is our last fully live session. Tomorrow's session will be recorded. That will be available shortly after midnight. And So quick reminder, please make sure you are doing the questions at the end of the sessions. We've got people jumping up and down because people are in the live sessions, but they're not doing that attendance assignment. And so we've got people that are a little bit upset about the attendance on some of y'all. So please take a look at that. So we're gonna start off here. We're going to be sharing a screen here. And here we go. So we are in the last 2 days, tomorrow being the last day of the class. You guys are almost finished, so I'll be dropping zeros into uncompleted assignments all the way up through yesterday. And so I appreciate everybody catching everything up. It is in the crunch time, so please get those things done. If something requires a form to be filled out, remember to duplicate it or utilize the form. You will be marked off for that. There's a reason why we have structure and things to follow. You're going to have to follow them once you get out in your career. You don't get to just do what you want because you want, and that's the way you like it. We have a thing for people like that. We call them unemployed. So you do have to follow rules, regulations, even if you become your own boss, even if you open up your own business, you think you get to do whatever you want. When you own your own business, you have a lot of bosses. They're called clients. You don't make a client happy. What happens is they tell 10 to 20 other people. One unhappy customer tells 10 to 20 other people how much they dislike your service. You make one person happy, they tell 1 to 3 people. So that's how the flows when you are out there and you own your own business. And this is why you want to keep people happy. So no, you can't just go around doing what you want, when you want, how you want, or you become out of business. All right. So we have made it all the way up to Tuesday as of yesterday, your leadership skills on how you would handle those two situations. So your results, you should have read those hopefully by now. Most of you should have been curious as to how you did on those interviews. Keep those up. Learn these skills. That elevator pitch, that is going to get you through so much. That horrible question of tell me a little bit about yourself. Remember, they don't want to know, oh, I like playing baseball, I like doing this, I like to go here and that. It's got to be business related, and learn how to describe things very specifically. Quit saying, oh, I'm great, blah, blah, blah. Give specific details. Details are what's going to get you into those positions. Okay? Don't try to bluff your way through because they're going to call you on. All right. This informational interview, put forth some effort in there. Okay. You know, when you're not putting forth the effort, trust me, we know too. We know what's going to happen. You're going to get out there and you think you're going to continue to bluff. No, you're going to fall. Okay. Put forth effort. I can't emphasize that. Honesty, effort, all these things that make for a good employee. It comes through. You can't turn this on and off. You either have it or you don't. And if you're not putting it forth now, it's chances are it's not going to come later. Okay? You can keep telling people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Who's going to keep believing the lies? You or your family? Stop and continue to put forth true, honest efforts in everything you do. And it's going to make everything easier the further you go. So put in what you actually learned here, okay? Your career plan, your final project should be done today. So that last day, you don't have to worry about this. It's supposed to be done today. I've got it at Thursday, 10 o'clock. Get it done today if possible. There is a template, okay? Use that template, put it down properly. Click on it. You can see it if you, your goals, your skills, what you need, anything to go further, and an action plan. Big points, big effort, big impact on your final grade. Make it happen. All right. Now, in that final exam, again, under the help, you have a guide to go along with it. Okay. If you go through and you don't utilize the tools that are given you, that's on you. Everything is here for your success. All right. Everybody got that? It's there for you. Everybody understand that? Yes, yes. All right. I want you to succeed, but you'll notice that I'm pulling back some because you need to succeed because you want to succeed. I can't do it and have you succeed because I want you to succeed. This is on you. You're going out there and now it's on you. Okay. But as you go out there, there's something that we have to talk about today. All right. And it's a little bit different topic, but one that's really important today, and it's your identity. Now, how many people have heard of identity theft? It's out there everywhere. Anybody hear of identity theft? Yeah, Kyle has. Every one of you should have responded to that. Yeah, we've all heard about it. It's in the news. It's everywhere. There was just a couple of new data breaches, and we need to talk about ways that you can help yourself with data breaches. Because I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've helped with. I told you I've been in IT for a long time. I've done a lot of things, and there's a lot of public information. Anybody ever bought a car? How many people have bought a car? Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of public information out there. And I could go out there and I can easily find out that you're close to paying that car off. You're within one payment of paying that car off, 2 payments. So that's great. I can find that information out easily, searching through the internet, finding out information. So I find out cars that are close to being paid off. Then I can find out where those cars are located, and I list your car for sale. You're like, why would I do that? Why would I list your car for sale? I post pictures and I get a buyer. It's got to be a cash buyer. So I listed sale cheap. I list a cash buyer, make a deal. Then what I do is I go out there and I make the payment on your car and I have the title sent to my house. Okay, now you see where I'm going? Now I've got the title to your car. Then I call a tow company and I tow your car to an undisclosed location. Now I've got your car, I've got your title, I've got a buyer. I sell the car to them and I give them the title. Now they have your car, your title, and the car's paid off. You come out, your car's gone. You call it in a stolen. Only problem is it's not stolen, it's paid off and owned by somebody else. All my work was done on a burner phone. I don't exist. Now you've got a problem. You need to try to explain to somebody how they have your title, they have possession of the car. You got to prove it's yours. And trying to get that car back is going to be really hard to do. Do y'all see how easy it is? And that's a little simplified way they do it, but that's the basics of it. How easy it is to become a victim of this, all without your knowledge. So we're going to talk about identity theft because identity theft can happen, how to recognize and report employment scams because they are out there, and risks when using the internet, and malware, and how to create a security plan. All right. So you need to protect your privacy when looking for a job online because it opens you up. Because identity theft is illegal and it steals your personal information to use it for theft or fraud. So you got to be diligent, okay? And common sense, okay? Do not ever include Social Security on these forms. If they start asking for that, no, 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 no. Okay, contact the Federal Trade Commission. Everybody here at the FTC, a lot of people know it as the FTC, but they don't realize that's the Federal Trade Commission. Everybody hears of the FTC, right? Was just recently in the news. They were trying to shut it down here, looking to see if that was a legal thing that they could get the president to be able to do. And so, yeah, you report that to them. So when you're applying for jobs, you need to be aware of fake job advertisements. How many people knew that there's fake jobs out there? Orlando is very big on this. People go to work, they work for a couple of weeks, and then they go to get paid, and there's no paycheck. I've had several students in my past classes, this has happened to them. They work for 2 or 3 weeks and then no paychecks. The company's really non-existent. So when you're applying, look for them that are getting personal information out of you that they shouldn't. They'll ask for credit cards because they have to run security checks, things like that. Look for misspellings. There's a lot of misspelling. They don't have physical addresses, things like that. Okay. Look for emails that are sent to you that sound too good to be true. They're going to pay you way more than they should. This is why you need to know your salary ranges. Researching the company. Just had you do that yesterday as your daily assignment. Research it, find out information about that background information. That's going to give you information as to if they're legitimate or not. Okay. Check to make sure that the ad comes from a corporation. The URL, that web address, usually has part of the company name in it. And if it's not, something's up. They'll ask you to set up direct deposit accounts. Yeah, that's not normal. Okay. If it gives you a physical address, Google it. Look up that address. Okay. How many people have heard of the Better Business Bureau, the BBB? Anybody heard of the Better Business Bureau? Yeah, look them up on the Better Business Bureau. This is a nationwide nonprofit agency. They have no affiliation with anybody, and they rate those businesses A plus through F. So you can see how they rate on there, or if they rate. Okay. Now, anybody do incognito browsing, private browsing on their computer so that nobody can track them? That doesn't work. Just so you know, it's a scam. We can still find you. It's all fake. I hate to tell you this. Yep, can find you anyway. Okay. So every computer's identity is known as an IP address. Okay. Oops, let me go back here. It's known as an IP address, and it's a number that identifies you when you connect to the internet. And it reveals your approximate geographic location. So we know approximately where you are. Now, if you're hiding behind a private wall, that becomes a little bit harder. So we know where that wall is, but we don't know exactly where you are behind it. So sometimes people will get a VPN, a virtual private network, and that VPN, like if you're here, that VPN could be in Alaska. We might think you're in Alaska because that's where you connect to, but we can still track it to you there. And from there, we can eventually narrow it down, but it takes a little bit longer. So there is a way, okay? So, and again, we've already told you that everything you do leaves a digital footprint. So be careful what you do, especially if you think you're going to be vengeful to people. Don't do that. The other side, the flip side is somebody does something to you, that can be tracked back. And forensics does play a part in keeping you secure on the web. Okay. Now, secure browsing does happen right here, HTTPS. This is making sure that those web pages follow a security protocol. Okay, it's not 100% foolproof, but it's a general sign of protection. Okay, that means that you are securely connected to a site that is past secure protocols. Anything that doesn't have that, especially in Chrome, Safari, things like that, Safari doesn't want you to connect to them. Chrome will stop you and say you shouldn't connect to them. So pay attention to that. It's telling you you're going to places you should not. Wi-Fi hotspots. Okay, now this is a thing you got to be careful with Wi-Fi hotspots. People will sit outside of places where there's free Wi-Fi and they set up a Wi-Fi hotspot that's very close to that. Okay. So if the legitimate Wi-Fi hotspot is free Wi-Fi, they might set it up as free Wi-Fi. So you go and you're typing it in or you're trying to connect and you connect to this one. Now they're collecting every one of your passwords and your IDs. You don't realize that you connected to the wrong one because this one will appear before that one. You connect to the first one. You thought you connected to the right one. They sit outside of every place that has free Wi-Fi, and they don't even have to be close. Okay, so be careful when you're checking or logging into free Wi-Fi hotspots. Okay, especially if you think you're going to be doing anything with banking, credit cards, purchasing, stuff like that. Any place where you're going to be putting in critical data. All right. Cookies. We all love cookies. And how many people remember to clear their cookies? Y'all clearing those cookies out? Because those cookies are bits of data that record information. Now, the reason why that's important is because sometimes those cookies store bits of information, such as in answers to security questions, things like that. So sometimes the hacker doesn't need anything else, but they want your cookies, okay? People that come in and take your cookies, they are called, I love this, we are called cookie monsters. They log in just to get your cookies. Because with those cookies, now they have information to go out and they can hack based on those, okay? Make sure that you are clearing those cookies. And some sites require you to take cookies, some don't. But please make sure that you are either opting out of them or never accepting them if you can. But make sure you are deleting them. Chrome actually has a setting along with other browsers that you can clear them every time you are finished using them. Strongly recommend clear your cookies. Now, these typically show up on the final. Which ones you might get, I don't know. So phishing, we heard of phishing. This is not catfishing, but kind of similar, is these are use of fraudulent emails and copies of website. So you'll notice that they're spelled very much like the legitimate websites, but they're not. And they try to trick you into giving private and confidential data. So if it comes up and says that we need you to verify your login and password, blah, 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 don't click on that and go there because it's going to look legit. Manually open up your browser and go to that company's website and see if they're really asking for it. Because chances are they're not. They don't ask you to put in your credentials like that. Okay? They're trying to get that information from you. The other thing, malware. This software is purposely created to damage, destroy, or steal your data. And it is different from a virus. Okay, it is made to look like software that's going to do something great for you. And when you load it, it doesn't. It is there to take information and send it back or damage or destroy what is already on there. And once you start it, you're not going to stop it. The difference between it and a virus is the virus is going to do something negative to your system, not necessarily destroy it, but then it wants to spread. So when you send out another email or something else, it's going to go and move on to the next one. Okay. Now, adware. Adware displays advertising material, just like that. Now it says without the user's knowledge. That's not always true. Sometimes you get the software free as long as you accept the ads. But if you don't want to watch the ads, then you have to pay. So adware here, it says without the user's knowledge. No, that's not true. You may know that you got to put up with the ads if you don't want to pay. So this is why on the final exam, just like the midterm, I will go through and I read every question and your answers to make sure that the auto grader is grading correctly. All right. Now, spyware, you may not even know it's there, but what it's doing, it's watching you. It's seeing what you do. And sometimes these are done by big companies. A great one was Xbox. Anybody ever use an Xbox when they had the Connect cameras on? Anybody remember that when those came out? And what they found out was Microsoft was turning those on and watching people in their living rooms. Yeah, they were just turning them on and spying on people. Well, spyware is similar to that. It just waits for you to log onto your computer and it spies to see what you do. And it sends out this information back a lot of times to corporations so they know what you're looking at, where you're looking at, what you're shopping, etc. And you don't necessarily know it's there. And it's illegal, okay? Now, ransomware. Anybody hear about places being taken over by ransomware? Police stations, airports, things like that. It locks their systems up. And if they don't pay up money, they're not going to get it back. Well, luckily, there's backups that places have, and sometimes they come back their systems backwards, and then that's before the ransomware takes place, etc. So sometimes they don't have to pay the money, but this is really bad and it's become more prevalent. So what can you do? Antivirus software, mobile security. Your phones are not safe, especially Androids. Anybody with an Android phone? Your phones are more susceptible to viruses than iPhones. Just because iPhones are more locked down, Apple locks things down. So if you have an Android, please make sure you are definitely running antivirus software on it. Even Apple, check to see what you can do. Okay? Secure passwords. Multi-factor authentication is a pain, but use it if you're supposed to. That's where they send back a code and you have to put it in before you can do it. Your security settings, check to make sure you got them. And back things up to the cloud if possible, because when it's out there, you can get it back regardless of what happens to your hardware. Now, how many people answer those security questions? What's your favorite movie? What's your mother's maiden name, etc.? We all answer those. Okay, you don't have to answer them with what they ask. When they ask, what's your mother's maiden name? I say Lamborghini. You don't have to give your mother's maiden name. It can be any answer. You can put your favorite car in there as long as you know what you're putting in. What's your favorite movie? Pizza. Make them as difficult as possible, because if somebody's trying to hack and it says what's your mother's maiden name, they're going to go to a public database and they're going to pull back your mother's maiden name. It's not that difficult to do. So you don't have to answer those questions with what they are asking. Protect yourself. This security plan checklist is in your book. You don't have to have a checklist like this, but have a plan for yourself. Know what you want to do. Okay? Passwords. Okay? We know what to do by now. We've done passwords over and over. Okay? Make sure that they are 6 to 8 characters at least, uppercase, lowercase, usually symbols. Mix them up, you know? Don't use repetitive numbers, letters, and easy to guess words. All right? Everybody good so far? Yes, yes? All right. So today, I want you to think about this. Have you ever been hacked or had your identity stolen? If so, how did you fix it? Okay. Or if you haven't, what are you doing to keep your identity safe? Name 3 things you're doing to keep that identity safe. So if you've ever been hacked or had your identity stolen, how did you fix it? Or what are you doing to keep your identity safe? Because we all definitely need to do that. So that is something that we need to do. And I apologize for my camera not popping open. And so I know you want to see my smiling face this morning, but you do have a recorded session for tomorrow, but I personally want to thank you. I've seen a lot of growth in what you've done. I know online can be difficult for many people for many reasons, but those that have put forth great effort, it is appreciated. I've seen the growth in what you do, and I want you to go out there and have the career not only that you want, but the one that you deserve. Work hard, and I want you to get out there, start that career, get it going so that as you get older, your life becomes easier and easier and easier. And a career that you enjoy will allow you to have that. And watch the recording for tomorrow. Get that last day attendance tomorrow. Finish everything up. Class locks at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And that's it. If this is your final class, congratulations. Hope you enjoy your graduation. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.